what up? It's your girl Ashley. I be ballin' with the I be ballin' basketball show. And I'm about to talk about the NBA Cup. The Bucks won it in year 2. Yeah, the first year, the Lakers won it, right? So shout out to Darvin Ham and Torian Prince because they undefeated in this NBA Cup, y'all. So if you want to win, call Darvin Ham. Nah, swing. But yeah, I'm going to talk about Giannis, the Thunder, everything. Shout out to Giannis, right? Because, he has a chance to not only, now he has a finals MVP, right? An NBA Cup finals MVP. But what if he wins regular season MVP? Then on to win the NBA championship with the finals MVP. I mean, that'd be the first player to do that. Hey. Oh, also, tell me if you guys like the NBA Cup. Have you, warmed up to it? Or is it still kind of lame, Because I feel like every fan is different. Some people are like, yeah, it's more competitive. And some people are like, nah, it's just more about money and, gambling and bets. And so everybody is different. With me, hey, my thing is the players are going to be more competitive because money's on the line. You're going to get a trophy, medal, right? Las Vegas. But also, it's mostly for those end of the bench players, that don't get a lot of, millions, you know what I mean? The moolah, the cheese, the guap, the cash, the coin, But, this was a great championship game. The Bucks locked it down. They held the Thunder to only 81 points. That was like old school 90s type of D. They was very physical. With SGA. He's, a great scorer, 30 points per game and, 13 points in the paint, which is like 4th in the NBA. But they clamped down on him. Shout out to Ajax. He's a sophomore guard, really athletic, can defend. And so, shout out to UConn. And so he was clamping on him, being physical with him. He even got in, Isaiah Hartenstein's face, like, because Hartenstein was like, don't you do that. And, so there was some drama there. But, this is what's scary about what happened. The Bucks clamped down, right, on a team that is, a lot of people said, the Thunder is going to clamp down on the Bucks because the Thunder are like the number one defensive team. They have like 8 players in, that are top in defense, right? Everybody was picking the Thunder, and I said, hey, if there's any team that could win this cup and beat the Bucks, it can be the Thunder. And it was like the Thunder are young, right, with speed, but the Bucks were like the veterans that, had the canes and the wheelchairs, like Doc said, right? But they used their size. We have Brooke, we have Bobby, we have Giannis, right? If you use your size, because they all can stretch the floor, but they all have post moves that they use, right? In that mid-range, hook shots, floaters, they have those things, right? But they also stretch the floor, right? But Giannis was just dominating. He said losing isn't an option. And that's the difference between Giannis and a lot of these superstars. Some superstars can score on the offensive. And some, they change the game defensively. Some people can do it both. Offensive and defensively change the game. But Giannis can do not only play both ends, offensive and defense, but he changes the game with his determination, his will, his work ethic. He refused to let the Bucks lose, right? And, they said they had a bitter taste in their mouth last year, losing. So, And yes, this isn't a championship, but it's like a warm up to a championship. It's like a little taste. It's like an appetizer, if you will. The Bucks want to win a championship, so hey, this is good practice to do it because the Bucks, they still working out the kinks. Doc Rivers, this is his second year. This is Dame's second year. They still got to work out that chemistry, but Giannis was like they're on the same page and the team is playing more together. And when they lose to the Celtics, they was playing hero ball. But Giannis should win MVP in my opinion. Because think about this. He's averaging 32 points, right? 21 points are in the paint, right? But this is the thing. Imagine if he actually hit his free throws. He would be averaging like 48 points a game. Think about that. That's crazy. But also, he's blocking shots left and right. No. I said no. Denied. Return to sender. He's doing it on both ends. And I feel like this should be his third one. Tonight he had 26 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists, triple doubles. And, I think he would be higher in the triple-double list, but sometimes it's like he's assists away and he doesn't get the assist. But, man. And let's talk about Dame. When I saw a stat, they're undefeated when he scores, when he gets 10 assists or more. That's great. And I feel like that is when the Bucks are at their best. When Giannis and Dame have a ton of assists, right? Because you're getting other people involved, right? But Dame, he averaged 29 points, 51%, 50 from 3, 10 assists in the NBA Cup, tournament. And tonight, he only had 4 assists, but that's good. He took 12 shots. He ended up having 23 points, and he made 5 threes. And guess what? OKC made 5 threes too. They could not hit anything. And partly, some of that is, the Bucks defense. Some of that is maybe it's an off night. They're young. Because I think that's what the Bucks still have to take. The OKC still has to take it to another level where they're an upcoming team, but they still need that experience, right? They still need that experience. SGA is only going to get better. All their young players are going to get better. But also, did the Bucks expose OKC? Did they give other Western Conference teams like the Warriors and the Nuggets and the Rockets some more ammo? I don't know. If you have size, if you have big players that can score in the post, you need to use that because, yes, they have Hartenstein, and I think that really improved them. Chet, he's, injured. But when you bring them both back, they still don't have the size that the Bucks have. So if you have that, you gotta use it to your advantage. Get them in foul trouble because, the Bucks, it's overwhelming. And tonight, they played lockdown D. They scored in the paint, and they was raining shots. They was making it rain on the Thunder. The Thunder was supposed to make it rain on us, but we let it fly, and we were making our threes. And so, if all 3 of those areas are clicking on all cylinders, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat the Bucks. And we didn't have Chris Middleton, who's another extra passer, playmaker, scorer. And I think if he gets healthy, we're going to be hard to beat. And this is a potential finals matchup. We could see this team again. We could see OKC again in the finals if all goes well. But first we have to, beat the Celtics and the Cavs and our Eastern competition. But also, I want you guys to know, Giannis is 5th in mid-range shots. People was like, hey, he can't shoot, but he's 5th in mid-range shots. And I don't know the exact number, but last year Giannis said, he took like 30, he made like 32 mid-range shots, and he surpassed that already. And he's shooting like 46%, 46% from mid-range. That's mwah. That's awesome. Also, the Nasus was in attendance, and when he's in attendance, we're undefeated. So the Nasus come to every game, every road game, every home game. Do it. And Giannis, there's just so much history that he's already made, and that's gonna continue to do. Like, he's won Defensive Player of the Year and MVP and Finals MVP, and only Hakeem and Jordan have done that. And he's gonna be like, he's already done this like 2 times. He's already had multiple seasons with 30 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, and 5 plus assists, right? And Wilt and Oscar Robertson did it twice, and Giannis is on his way to do it third. But yeah, SGA, he's a great scorer, great from mid-range, but he scored 33%. That's not very good. He had like 21 points, 8 out of 24. But hey, I feel like this was a statement. Like, yes, we won the NBA Cup, but this is just the beginning. We on to, because Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham, they didn't celebrate with the champagne. Darvin Ham was like, that didn't go over well with the Lakers last year, because the Lakers won the cup, right? They celebrated with the champagne. They didn't end up winning the championship, right? So I think that just says the coaches are focused. They're saying, hey, we're going to celebrate with champagne in the NBA Finals. Like, that's tremendous right there. I feel like that's tremendous right there. Like, but also, Giannis, I think it's his mentality and his mindset that sets him apart. Like, a lot of people are like, Doc Rivers, he blew so many 3-1 leads. Like, he's never had a player like Giannis, though. Giannis is never going to allow his team to blow a 3-1 lead. If it's 3-1, Giannis is not going to say a team's going to win 2, 3, 4. Like, no. Giannis, that's not happening with Giannis. And I think that's what sets him apart. And I feel like a lot of people, like, think about it. We started the season 2-9. People were saying, fire Doc, trade Dame, trade Giannis. Giannis is going to be asking for a trade. There was all these mock trades. The insiders, Giannis is going to request a trade and go to the Warriors and blah, 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 and all this. And it happens every couple of years. Every time we struggle. Every time Giannis is up for, free agency, it happens all the time. And I'm like, Giannis is not like all these other superstars. He's not going to go from team to team to team. If we have a chance of winning, he's going to stay. And I feel like, hey, we have a chance of winning. And think about this, y'all. He's never shot under 50% this year. Never had a game under 50%. That's how efficient he is, right? And think about it, like, he's taking threes, right? But he's also taking mid-range shots. And I feel like his free throws is the last nugget. Like, he needs to hit his free throws. And I feel like, his form needs a little work. But, hey, if he can continue to work on his game, like, a lot of people are like, okay, Giannis, he can't shoot, and he's done. Like, no. Him shooting these mid-range shots and making them at a consistent level is showing me, like, he's expanding his game. There's more to him. Do not count him out. Yes, I'm 30, but hey, yes, I'm 30 and I've scored 19,000 points before I'm, 30, but hey, I can still improve. I like him shooting all those hook shots. He's shooting hook shots more. And that is a part that we haven't seen a lot. And I'm like, yo, this guy, like, on the fast break, he's scoring more points on the fast break, more point paints. I mean, a higher, field goal percentage. It's like, you think, what more can be done with Giannis? The run and dunk player, right? And all of a sudden, running and dunking is bad all of a sudden. And you saying that he's just a run and dunker is just saying you don't watch him play. And if he was just a run and dunker, he would be like a Daniel Gafford or something like that, right? Like, that's not who he is. Like, how can he be winning MVPs and the championship if he just run and dunk, right? Like, come on, guys. Oh, I saw a stat that SGA hasn't beaten Giannis since 2018. I don't know if that's true or not. I just saw a commentator say that. Not a commentator, but a YouTuber, right? So you don't really know if that's true or not. But I just feel like the points and the assists are just getting higher and higher, career highs, and it's like, what more can he do? And I got a picture of Dame right there. Like, Dame time, like, you are slow. They're slowly figuring it out, getting their chemistry together. Also, the league needs to do better with this whole continuation with Dame. He's always shooting. Give him his free throws. Jeez. I'm like, come on. But I feel like Giannis is, like, so underrated and so disrespected. And I feel like it's because he's in a small market. And that's why the NBA is, like, mad. They're mad that we have Dame and Giannis, two star players, two attracting and marketable players in such a small market. If they were in LA or Chicago or, right? The love would be astronomical. The media would just love Giannis. But now it's like, can he win again? His game is so limited. He hasn't improved. Fatigue voting. How can you get tired of greatness? How can you get tired of building on the greatness you already got? I don't understand it. Oh, shout out to KG, and I love seeing Rondo at the practices. I want Rondo to be a full-time assistant coach for us. And shout out to KG showing love. But yeah, I just want everybody to know the Bucks are on the rise. And so if we, go on a run that is, maybe we struggle a little bit. Don't lose hope, because think of this as, like, we started from 2-9. So if we started from 2-9 and can win the NBA Cup, we're just going to go up from here. And sure, there's going to be some peaks and valleys. But I think the struggle early on is really what helped us, and what I think you know who you are when you go through trials and tribulations, right? Are you going to fold? Are you going to, fold under pressure? And think about it. If we're in a close game, how can you stop Giannis and Dame? Dame is one of the most, clutch players in this league. So if he has the ball in his hands, be on the lookout. And Giannis, think about it. He could possibly win Clutch Player of the Year, because his points in the fourth quarter and just taking over games, it's unlike any other year he's ever had. So, hey, if you want to keep it close, you got Dame, you got Giannis, just they're waiting for you. And yeah, with Giannis's determination and with Dame's clutch shotness, with the logo threes, and I like the floaters, and he can't get to the rim, and he's clutch with free throws. And I like that Giannis was on Thanasis podcast and was like, "Hey yo, Giannis is so great, yeah." And then they lose, and he's like, "Oh no, he has blood on his hands." And that's how the media is, They love you one day and they hate you the next. But I just feel like it's a statement and a warning to the league. Like, hey, you let us back in. We may not get a top seed, but beware of us, because no matter what seed I feel like this has grown. This made the team grow even more, because if you can come back from 2-9 and everybody was against you, all the media, even fans, when you can come back and then win the NBA Cup, you putting the league on notice. Like, yo, don't let us be healthy. Don't let us get that chemistry. Don't let us figure out those pick and rolls and that defense, locking in, playing team ball, playing together. Don't let us do that, y'all. Don't let us do that, y'all. We actually might, we might do some things. The Bucks have struggled in the third quarter sometimes this year. Sometimes I'm like, what is Doc saying to them at halftime? But this game just proved their focus. OKC only scored 14 points in the third quarter. OKC with Jalen Williams and SGA, who he's a 30-point scorer. And that's my dog. My dog's like, hurry up in the show. Go to sleep. But, hey. Also, the dynamic duo, Dame and Giannis, 58 points. Most by any duo. And you can't, and it's crazy, because in the beginning of the season, like, people are telling me that, all these duos like Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey or Paul George was better than our big three, and the Knicks' big three with Jalen and Cat and Bridges was better than ours. And I'm like, no. I do not think so. Like, especially if Chris Middleton is healthy and even is a little bit like his 2021 self, who scored 40 points in the NBA Finals. That Chris, who's like a second option, but now he's our third option. Don't let us get healthy now. If we're healthy and our chemistry continues to grow, I don't see anyone beating us. Like I said, because Chris, I feel like if you're trying to win a NBA championship, your three best players have to be a little bit different. And I feel like Dame, Chris, and Giannis, they have different, pieces of their game that can complement one another on both ends of the floor. And I also think the others, like Brooke, Gary Trent, he's found his groove after a tough start, right? AJ Green, who's just lighting it up. Derry Bird, right? You got Bobby Portis, who's like a 6th Man of the Year candidate. You have Brooke, right? He's old, but he's found some fountain of youth. He keeps clucking along, splashing along, right? I feel like we need one more piece. We need that guard forward that's like 6'7", and that can help, our bigs and our wings defend. I wish there was like some forward that could really help, because there's going to be some moments where Bobby and Brooke can't play huge minutes in the series because, they're slow-footed, right? So we may need that athletic big to help out, or that athletic forward to play small ball. Shout out to TP, who is leading the league, right, in 3-point percentage. Players always have career highs with Giannis. Have you guys noticed that? Let it be known, everybody has career highs with Giannis, and then when they leave Giannis, they go back to normal. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. What you would change in the NBA Cup and make it better, and give me your thoughts on the championship game and the whole NBA Cup in general. And thank you guys for watching. Peace and stay ballin'. Swish.